So, hi guys. I thought we had ended our session a little abruptly, and a couple of you felt that we could be missing out on few of the slides that we were supposed to finish. And now, since we are forced to use technology, uh, I think this is one advantage that I can do a little screen recording and send it across to you. So, here it goes. So we had stopped and ended when we started talking about visibility. And visibility is about your reputation, your non-verbal presence throughout the organization or outside the organization. And as I was mentioning, that this is something which is really relevant because your reputation precedes yourself in both cases, I mean, good or bad. And when it comes to presence, it's all about how you are able to impact and influence people even before they have met you. So it's and specifically because everybody likes to know who they are dealing with, and they would like to go and check out your LinkedIn profile also. But besides that, the more you grow in your organization and your sphere of influence increases, you need to have a network of people on your network who can help you in getting information, in getting things done. And as I mentioned, the example of Captain Gopinath, it's you know amply describes what what are some of the benefits of being able to build your network is concerned. So Herminia Ibarra she's a Stanford professor, and she has written an article on how leaders create and use networks. We also talked about the three different networks, and when we left off, I was talking about how strategic networking is not something which is consciously on the cards with most of the leaders. So here's the opportunity. You need to consciously make a choice to build strategic network and identify people who can be very helpful in mentoring you, opening doors, or at least advising you when you are looking for some unbiased advice from any quarter. Now, these people, they can be from within your organization, and they are at a much higher level than you are, or otherwise they could be industry professionals from outside your organizations. Now, how do we decide exactly who are the people that we should be investing our time and building a network with? And this is where we were talking about power mapping or influence mapping. And influence map is a 2 by 2 matrix where we look at what is the power the person has about making decisions, how influential they are in your industry, in the area that you have interest of growing in, and how close are they to you, and what is their interest in working with you. So if we were to put these two variables on this matrix, you will find that you get four quadrants. One which is one which is where they have no power or low power and low interest in you. These are the people who you probably know by default in some form or the other. They are either neither of too much of benefit to you, nor do they have much influence on power, but they're okay for you to be there in the background. And so you need to just keep them in your radar screen, or you just need to keep them in your sights, but there's not much which is required to be done. Likewise, if they have high interest in you but they don't have much power, the strategy would be to keep them informed about some of your ongoing activities and the others. And on the other side, if they have high power and they have low interest in you, that is something that you will have to proactively work towards um, building that relationship. So anytime that they were to reach out to you, or if there's any opportunity for you to reach out to them, you make sure that you fulfill their needs and their expectations from you, and you keep them satisfied. In both these cases, that is high power, low interest, and high interest, low power, your objective is to be able to move into the quadrant which says manage closely. Okay, So keeping informed, not so much, but keeping satisfied, they are the ones you would like to build your uh, relationship with, so that over a period of time they move into that quadrant where they have got high power and also high interest in you. This is the one which needs to be managed closely. These are the ones that you need to focus on more time. And in fact, there are organizations who practice this um, methodology for creating networks and helping their leaders to build these networks. Organizations where there are deals that go for multiple years, or large deals which has got who have got multiple stakeholders, they use specific tools and methods to map out the influencers, decision makers, and the others in and inside the um, client or stakeholder organization, to make sure that they are nurturing and building relationship with the right stakeholders. So this is one action item. If you feel that you are not, you haven't worked on it, this would be one more area for you to look at. There are many resources available on this, and I will probably uh, share one or two of those for you. So the action steps for you would be to define your network. First of all, if you haven't done much work in this area, I would suggest you read up some material on business networking, and after that, identify some of the key stakeholders or key influencers. You may not be able to build your relationships with them in the near future, but it could be on any time scale ranging from a couple of months to a couple of years. At the same time, you will be actively working towards that over a period of time. At the same time, don't overdo it. Don't become like an Amway distributor, where they always are trying to push you and work with you. The minute people see that you have got an ulterior motive, that is when they are going to start to resist coming in contact with you. So that's where, just a word of caution, don't overdo it. Right? So this is what in this section we were supposed to have covered. Few things that I have mentioned as a summary points is that your physical cues are extremely important, because they may or may not be a correct evaluation of who you are, but it makes a huge difference. Your first impressions will have huge implications how they see you in the long term. Then your energy and your tone is something that we need to be consciously managing it, if we want to manage the perceptions of people and stakeholders around us, right? Um, and the another 2 points were of keeping your composure, practicing some mindfulness, lowering your stress levels. If your mind is cluttered, if your mind is clogged with too many to-dos clogging your mind, then also your stress levels are high and you will feel flustered. As I recommended, look at GTD as a tool for you to use as an extension of your mind, where you can offload in a very structured manner all the to-dos that you have got. And finally, the visibility part of it, building networks. Right. So this is where it all comes together. This is where we put all the pieces together and create a plan for execution. So I hope they have taken lots of notes, because this is what is going to populate your step 1, 2, and 3 of the signature voice toolkit. You will define your game plan. I've shared a sheet with you. That's where you are going to look at where exactly is your um, voice, or yes, not signature voice, sorry, where is your presence sliding, and what exactly do you need to work on? Assumptions, communication strategies, and energy. And I have shared enough material with you that will give you an idea of what does assumptions, communication strategies, and energy look like in all the three quadrants, that is supportive quadrant, driving quadrant, and the signature quadrant. So used as a template, as a guidance to create a map for how is it that you would like to see yourself. Okay, that's going to be your game plan, looking at these three A's. And after that, based upon whether you want to move from driving voice to signature voice, or um, from the supporting voice, that is, either you want to increase your voice for self or you want to increase your voice for the others, this is where you will take some guidelines from and create a plan of your own. So these are two steps that you will need to work before you come to have a chat with me, because I said it's only a 20-25 minutes um, time that we have got. And once I know that you have got clarity in your mind about how you want to proceed, then it becomes very easy and it's very productive the time that we have from my side as well. And the idea behind this is that all the resources and all the motivation that you need to do or build yours, I mean, develop yourself in this area, is something that is already there in you. You just need some clarifications. You just need a clear path to go from A to B, and that is where I can come in and help you to map that for you. All right. So um, that's it. That's about it. And I have already sent you the calendar link um, for the one-on-one. It is available for the next 2 weeks. Have a look at it and see what works for you, and accordingly, we will catch up again. Once again, this is not mandatory. If you feel it is useful for you, only then you do that. But just in case you have decided to be part of this one-on-one, make sure that you do the preparation and then only schedule a call. Otherwise, this is not going to be of much use to either you and me, right? So thank you very much for your participation. It was wonderful connecting with you. Thank you. Bye bye.